Hi, my name is Jennifer. Thanks for tuning in. This is my 4th episode on my sewing channel. Today we will be making a large tote bag out of dead stock upholstery fabric with some leather straps, some hand stitching, and a little bit of beads. This is a fun project. It's pretty easy, beginner friendly, and I'm excited to get started. So let's get going. Here's what you'll need to get started. This is a dead stock upholstery fabric. It's pretty thick, so I broke out my heavy-duty scissors. This is a lighter weight upholstery fabric. This will be for the zipper panel. For cutting leather and suede, I like to use the rotary tool along the side of a ruler. It makes for a nice clean cut. If you don't have any leather, you can get creative and use something else. For the main fabric of the purse, we are going to mark 7 inches from each corner. I just put a little dot, and this is on the wrong side of the fabric. So on all 4 corners, 7 inches from the corner. This is how I like to sew my zippers and upholstery. So you fold it right sides together, and you put about a 3/4 inch hem on that folded edge. And then you'll cut that folded edge open. Just run your scissors through that channel and open that up. Lay your zipper face down with the teeth right on the seam that you sewed. I don't even use a zipper foot. I just use the regular foot, and I sew down each side of the zipper. Now you can rip that seam open that you first did. I usually use a seam ripper, but it just broke before I started this, so I had to use my scissors. I use my upholstery zipper. It does come on a bolt, so I cut it to size, and then I have to put the slider on. In this step, we're going to make a gather on one of the sides between 2 of the black dots. So you start at the black dot, we're going to make a gather. So I like to turn my tension up a little bit and just go from black dot to black dot. I did back stitch at the end to secure it, but the beginning stitch is loose. So now I'm going to tug on the bottom stitch to make a gather. And you are going to want your gather 6 inches long because we're going to sew the zipper onto that. And repeat that on the other side. We're only doing this on two sides, and it's just two opposite sides. You will see this later. Here you want to pin the ends of your zippers onto the parts that we just gathered, and that will just be on those two opposite sides. Make sure you have the right side of the upholstery fabric facing the right side of the zipper. Stitch the zipper onto the bag over the gathered parts that you just pinned. And repeat on the other end of the zipper. This is what your bag should look like so far. Now we are going to pin the bag and sew the rest of it up. So we're going to fold the corners. The black marks that you made at the beginning should be about where the corner of the zippers are. And so we're going to follow these two pieces of fabric all the way across to the other side and keep pinning. Now you can take this over to your machine and do a straight stitch all the way down that side that you just pinned. And then we will repeat that on the other side. I prefer using these clips instead of pins just because the upholstery fabric is thicker and it's kind of bulky and hard to get through with the pin. I'm adding a binding on some of the raw hems on the inside of the bag just to make it look a little cleaner on the inside. And I'm sure any trained sewist might be cringing at the way I'm sewing binding, but it's how I do it. Now you can turn your bag right side out. I'm just using some scissors to help me get a crisp edge on these corners. Now we're making the straps. I did end up cutting 4 pieces of leather 1 inch by 1 inch. The brown pieces of leather you see in there, they will be a backing for the purse strap. So I'm just matching up the holes that I'm punching for the purse strap onto those little 1 inch by 1 inch pieces and punching holes in the 4 1 inch by 1 inch pieces and also the purse straps on the ends. We will be hand stitching the straps to the bag. Here we will be attaching the straps to the bag. So the little pieces, the 1 by 1 pieces, will go in the corner over top of the seam. Pin that on. And then the long part of the strap will go on the other side of that corner. And pay close attention to the placement of the straps. And repeat the process on the other side. This is my favorite part of making the bag, the hand stitching. It's intentional sewing, kind of like a meditation for me. I used a cotton wax thread and I'm going to stitch an X pattern through the holes that we created. We're going to start from the back and go to the front. And I'm just going to do about 2 stitches per X and then tie it off. Repeat this on all 4 corners. I'm adding some extra little details here. I always like to throw in a little splash of red on my handbags and some fringe and beads just to make it interesting. I'm adding some leather to the zipper pull and some brass beads and some red. And she's done. I think it's a really cute bag. It'd be great for the beach, overnight bag. You can pack a lot in it, and you can also wear it as a backpack. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.